is king! Christ is king!
Let all that you do be done in love. A Christian, when they see their society collapsing around them, doesn't cower or run in fear. He doesn't stick his head in the sand and hope that it will all change and just go away and be all right. He doesn't throw up his hands and say all is lost.
Because the camera is on. Unless you are a trained. I know that you are a graduate. I don't know what graduation you are.
Yeah.
But how can we get training of these sort of things, sir?
It's a great question and I want to answer that.
Please.
So there are many YouTube channels now of Christians who are dealing with the arguments of atheists, the arguments of agnostics, the arguments of progressives, the arguments of Muslims. Sit like if you were listening to a lecture on those channels and take notes. There's loads of channels, loads of them. Soco Films is one, Dr. James White is another, Orthodox Shahada is another, you know, I'm trying to think of some off the top of my head. Sam Shamoon, Apologetics, J Apologetic, God Logic, Islam Critique. There's loads of Christians engaging with Islamic arguments.
See, I got it what I want.
Yes, David Wood, DCCI.
No, I know.
Okay, just listen to those videos, write down your notes, and then you'll learn. But the reason why Christians shouldn't come to this corner and debate with the Muslims, unless they're trained, is because this isn't a form of entertainment. This is a battleground.
Yes, I agree with you.
And Christians are getting stumped because they're not trained in apologetics, and they're gambling their souls by coming here in an untrained fashion. And that's why I want to discourage Christians. If you come and you're not trained in apologetics, don't give cannon fodder to the Da'i channels, ignore them. If they put a camera on you, say, stop the conversation.
So these are the
and
people.
Bring them to the trained Christians who debate in the Muslims every week.
So these are the people when I listen to them.
Yeah.
Have you ever book any, or you have studied or watched that contradiction on the Qur'an?
There's many contradictions in the Quran.
Yeah, I have heard from you and I listened to you. But I would like to make a note so that I have found in a David Wood. Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Tons of.
Yeah.
Tons.
Yeah. You could just listen to David Wood. You could listen to me. Well, like Islam contradicts science. It contradicts history. It contradicts geography. The Quran contradicts itself. You know, it says in one part of the Quran that no vision can behold him, and in another part of the Quran it says their face will brighten for seeing their Lord. That's a contradiction.
I write it on these sort of things as well. And when you mention, you one day say, shut the mouth of man about what they call Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
And he walk away. Here's a ball. As my friend.
Thanks be to God.
It was a great desire to see you.
Yeah. God bless you. I appreciate your prayers.
Just only we can pray.
Where are you guys from, brothers?
We are from London.
London. Okay. Yeah. Sorry?
Basically Pakistan.
Basically Pakistan. Like the persecution that our Pakistani brothers and sisters are facing is horrendous. And I really want to, I always try to raise awareness about how Christians in Pakistan are suffering.
I know, I feel so happy.
Churches are being bombed, Christians are being kidnapped, Christian girls, they're being assaulted, insulted in the street, they're being stabbed. Doesn't matter how old I am, uncle. I can't say. But the point is, there are people, brother, uncle, the fact is that there are ignorant people in the West who want to ignore the fact that Christians are suffering in every part of the Islamic world because it's not politically correct to call it out.
Nice of you.
You, my uncles in Christianity, my brothers from Pakistan, need to challenge the do-gooder Westerners and confront them with the sufferings of the church in Pakistan and shove it down their throat until they choke on it. You must shove it down the throat of Western liberals how our brothers and sisters are suffering in Pakistan until they literally are throwing up, because they are consciously, deliberately, willfully ignorant about how our brothers and sisters are suffering in Pakistan. And the thing is, because you're Pakistani, a white liberal will never contradict you. A white liberal will be scared of the race card. They won't listen
God
to me.
bless you.
If
God
I
bless you.
listen, Uncle,
What
please.
a man
This
you
is
are.
listen, Uncle. If I go to a liberal do-gooder and talk about the persecution that Christians in Pakistan are facing, they'll call me a racist.
Yeah.
They will never say that to you, and they'll never say that to you. So make it your mission in the West. Make it your mission in the West to find liberal do-gooders in the West and shove the persecution of the church in Pakistan down their throats until they are sick to death.
God wills it.
And if they try to call you an Islamophobe, accuse them of racism and play the race card. God bless you. Peace be with you. We have got to fight the liberals. We got to stand up together.
Evangelist. You say evangelist, part-time evangelist.
God bless you,
Listen.
Uncle.
Okay.
God bless you. Peace be with you. God bless you, Uncle.
Thank you.
Peace be with you. Christians from Pakistan who are living in the UK. Christians from Egypt who are living in the UK. Christians from Syria and Iran who are living in the UK. Christians from Algeria who are living in the UK. Find the progressive liberal apologists who are ignoring the suffering of the persecuted church and shove example after example after example down their throats until they are sick to the back teeth. Those liberal hypocrites lecture us about Islamophobia in the West whilst ignoring Christophobia across the entire Islamic world. Christians from Nigeria shove the genocide of the Christians down the throats of all the progressives that you know. Force them to deal with it. Force them to confront with it, because those liberal progressives are hypocrites who are justifying the persecution of Christians in the Islamic world because they're frightened of being accused of being racism. The reality is, you cannot hide behind the shield of racism when a question of justice is at stake. We Christians are called to stand up for justice. And that means it does not matter a jot if it will stir up religious tensions or if someone will accuse you of being a racist. You must speak up for persecuted Christians wherever they are in the world. And if the liberal progressives don't like it, tough shove it down their throat. Shove it down their throat until they are sick of hearing it. Standing up for your brothers and sisters in the persecuted lands is more important than political correctness. It is more important than community relations. It is more important than people's feelings. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to this and listen well. There was not a single year in 1,400 years of Islamic history in which a Muslim army did not try to conquer Christian land. Think about that for a minute. The reason why you don't know about it is because the liberal West has a vested interest in making you forget the history of the church. Because if you remember the history of the church, then that bombing in Manchester of those children looks different. ISIS looks different. Boko Haram looks different. Hamas looks different. Islamic Jihad looks different. The Muslim jihadis in the Philippines looks different. The anti-Christian pogroms in Egypt looks different. The anti-Christian pogroms in Pakistan looks different. If you remember the history of the church, the actions and the persecutions Christians are suffering at the hands of Islamic societies looks different. And the reason why you've been told, oh, it's just an individual or it's just a bad Muslim, is because you don't know that for 1400 years, without a single exception, in any year of 1,400 years, there wasn't a Muslim army marching somewhere to conquer Christian lands, shouting out Allahu Akbar as they kidnapped our children, as they raped our women, as they desecrated our churches. The last time that this happened was in 1914 to 1918.
There will be a reckoning.
That's how recent it was. Learn your history, Christians. Learn to stand up for your brothers and sisters. Stop being weak. Stop being cowardly. Your loyalty to the church is more important than your loyalty to the UK or France or Spain or Germany or the United States. Our loyalty as Christians is to the church. Church is where our loyalty is. The church lives. The caliphates are dead.
Our church is still here.
The caliphates are dead.
The church is still here.
Our church is still here.